What's going on, guys? Justin Fuller, Director of Digital Sales for TrueSpot, and today I'm out in Austin, Texas, here at Austin Subaru, and we're getting these guys set up to track their keys and their cars through service. So I'm quickly becoming every technician's and service advisor's best friend. Want to know how we do it? Well, let's hop on in. All right, guys, so step one to setting you up to track your keys and your cars through fixed stops is gonna be establish a network. Now, we use a LoRa-based network. So what that consists of a few different items I'm gonna show you. So on the outside of the dealership, we're gonna use these solar-powered gateways. These are pretty awesome because they don't require power lines or anything like that. You can actually see one right behind me up there. All I've gotta do is band clamp it, it'll hold about a month's worth of charge, and that's what's gonna allow you to see those keys and cars as they float around in real time. So on the interior of buildings, shops, service bays, collision centers, next to key machines, pegboards, or even a 4-story parking garage like this one, I'm gonna use these interior gateways. And this is gonna show you where those keys and cars are as they float around those areas.
So once you have all of your exterior gateways set up and your interior gateway set up, the last piece is gonna be this piece right here. This is gonna be your base station. This is gonna be the only piece that connects to your internet, which is gonna hold these data points so when you open up the dashboard, which is lm360.truespot.com/dealer, or if you hop on the phone app, you're gonna be able to see where those keys are, where those cars are, or if you're tracking something else like a dealer plate, a jump box, a golf cart, whatever that item may be. So let's hop on in and talk about the tags.
All right, guys, so the next part to this is gonna be your tracking tags. So let's talk about these tags for a minute. So I've got two different pieces here, one for the car and one for the keys. You could do either or both. These guys are doing both. So on the tags, first off, I wanna let you know that I can set it up with your logo on it. I can do different colors, different numbers. So depending on how you have your service set up running, maybe you have service advisors that use certain numbers or particular colors, understand we can customize that. So when somebody does a walk around on the car, all they've gotta do, throw this around the rearview mirror, and now we're tracking where that vehicle is living. Based off of that number, that 1001, you just want to connect somewhere to that RO. Now, the second part to this is going to be the keys. Same thing on the keys. I've got a carabiner so I can click it onto the keys. I've got 1001 on this also, and a tracking tag. So when I take my customer's keys, all I got to do, click this on, boom. Now we're going to be tracking where the keys are at. So if the car ends up parked on the 4-story of the parking garage and these keys are at the service advisor's desk and I'm the tech trying to do the job, I can open up the phone app or the desktop dashboard and see, oh, okay, car's on the 4th story of the parking garage, keys are over at Dave's desk. Let me go grab those and I can start doing the work. So I can be way more efficient. So let's hop into the phone app next and I'll show you what the search looks like.
All right, guys, so here we are, and I've got my phone and I'm mirroring it over the screen here so I can show you what it looks like to run a search through the app. Now, 90% of you guys are only gonna use pretty much one button on here, and that's the find a key and find a car tag up in the top left corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and select that. Now from here, you would just wanna type in the number on that specific tag that you're trying to find. So for the sake of this, we're gonna do 2002. So it's 2002, go ahead and select that. Boom, it pulls up and shows me that tag. I then jump in and it's gonna immediately pull up the vehicle first. So it's gonna show me on the map where that vehicle is, and then right above the map, it's gonna tell me. So I can read on here, it says Service Drive, Southwest Drive West. So this is based off the naming conventions that they've given us on the geographical locations of the dealership. Now, when I'm on the map, if I was at this dealership right now, it appears a blue dot. So this way I'll understand where I am in relation to the car or the key or whatever I'm looking for. So I can see on here on the map, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, right? Do all these different things. So I can see the key there, but I'm gonna jump over to that key button and it'll kind of pinpoint on it, right? And it's also gonna tell me, hey, the key is in the service shop, Southwest middle row. Now, as I get close to that, I may get over there and go, okay, I'm in the region, but where is the key? Now, there's a couple things you can do here. I can hit this find a tag button that you'll see right above the map, and it'll do a couple things. One, it'll ping that tag, and there's an LED in it that'll flash a couple times. So if you're standing there in front of a pile of tags, right on a desk, you may hit that and go, oh, it's right there, if you need to grab it and you didn't want to search through all of them. Secondarily, when I hit this, it's gonna start pinging that tag real fast. So a white ball will appear here right in the middle where it's thinking. As I walk closer to that tag or move my phone closer, it'll move into that dark immediate section at the bottom of the screen. As I move away from the tag, it'll move up into the red. So this way it's a little bit of game of hot and cold, but it'll walk me right up to where a set of keys are. So if that set of keys was in a drawer of a key machine, I could open each drawer and tell me, oh, it's in the third drawer if I couldn't find it, right? If it didn't register in there. Or if I walk up to a car, hold this up against the car and go, okay, it's in the car. Right? So this way, granularity-wise, I can walk you right up to a set of keys. Car-wise, I can walk you right up to within a couple spots of where that car is going to be. So if you walk out there and you're trying to figure it out, you should be in front of it and go, okay, it's in one of these two spots. At that point, you probably know what car you're looking at. You're like, oh, I'm looking for a 2019 blue Subaru Forester, right? And you'd be standing there. So it makes it pretty easy as far as granularity to find a set of keys and find a vehicle. Now, let's hop over to the desktop dashboard and I'll show you even more stuff you can do. All right, guys, so here we are on the dashboard. So the very first thing you're obviously going to see is the map right in the middle. So you can see where we've created that network I talked about earlier and geofenced off all these different areas. So super cool that you can do this, and I can do all kinds of different things. We can rotate around, we can turn it on a tilt if you want to see it that way. So whatever helps you as far as looking at your specific store. Over here at the far left, I can run searches. So if I want to search multiple vehicles at once, that's where you're going to do this. So for like my inventory managers, if I want to search out all of a certain type of car, understand that you could do that here. Now, for the sake of this with service, so this isn't really going to apply the same, but understand if you're using this on the retail side, that's what this is going to live for. Now, while I'm looking at this, you can see all these different counts that I have in here, right? I can also turn on pins. So if I turn on the pins, boom, now I'm looking at every single vehicle that is running through their service department and where it's parked. So this way I can understand what's parked where, right? Same thing with keys. If I want to look at all the keys, boom, I'm looking at every single key that has a tracking tag on it. So this way, at the end of a night, I can look and go, hey man, I've got a couple tags that are out here on the lot. These have potentially been left inside of the service vehicle and parked back on the lot. I need to go take care of those. Now, I can hover over them and it'll tell me which service tag it is. So this is 1033, or I can click into this geofenced area and it will then provide me a list over on the right side of all of the tags, key-wise is what I'm looking at right now, that are out on that lot in this geofenced area that I'm specifically searching through, right? So very helpful at the end of a night to make sure things are making it back to where they belong, right? If I need to make sure keys are making it back into a key box, a lock box, an office, wherever you're storing them, this is a quick and easy way to do it, right? Now on here, I can run those same searches. So we searched out 2002 earlier. I'll do it. You do it right up here in the top center. Boom, it pulls up and I can see that tag. I can click into it and now it'll show me where both items are. So click on the car, it'll show me where the car is at, right? It's in the service drive right now. So you pull right up in there and I can see, it's telling me, hey, the tag's in service drive middle. And then if I click on the key, boom, it's showing me where it's at on the map, but it's also telling me service shop Southwest, right? The only difference between the app and the dashboard really on the searches is that I don't have that find a tag button, right? I can't mobily hit that and then it walk me up to something on the dashboard. So that's where the phone is going to come into play a little bit differently. Now, something I didn't show you on the phone, but understand, there's some different tabs over here, and you can get to all these tabs from the app as well. But the most important one is probably going to be notes. Understand that you can leave notes related to a specific vehicle, right? So I can come over here and I can tag something, right? If it's had a dead battery, cool, well, why don't I notate that? Right? So before the guy goes out there to grab it, he may need to roll it in or take a jump box with him, and then I can even tag a person. So if I wanted to tag someone, right, I could tag myself, and then tag myself into that note and then submit it. Right, so if I needed to let the porter know, hey, that's a dead battery, we jump it, right, if it was a retail car maybe, or if I just want to let everyone know that, hey, this car has a dead battery, right? So a quick way to drop a note in, and whether you're specifically adding a person to it, or just letting everyone know what's going on with a specific vehicle. Now, the other thing that I have up here is dispositions. Now, a disposition, you can create custom ones. So you may want to create one for dead battery. That way it'll notate and automatically do it. Now, I will mention, when you create a disposition, what's going to happen is when I jump back here and I go to this vehicle, all the text on it is going to be highlighted in red. So over in the search on the right side, it would be highlighted red, so I would know whether I'm in the app or the dashboard, hey, there's something going on with this. If I'm going to go get this car, I need to look at the notes real quick to understand. And then I would see the note to, these guys don't have any dispositions set up, but you may want dead battery or sent off for recall. There's a lot of different things. Go to a body shop, whatever the item may be, or waiting on a part, right, if you wanted to, and then you could put in the notes related to that, hey, part expected on this date, that sort of thing. So this way you can kind of leave some notes for your coworkers to make life a little bit easier and improve that efficiency even further. There's a bunch of tiles across the top of the screen that you got up here that you can take advantage of. So location of inventory, this one's powerful for both because I can understand where my service vehicles are parked. If I'm searching down this and I'm saying, okay, I've got all these different vehicles, right? Because I'm searching through the inventory currently, and I can do this by keys as well. I want to know if I've got 2 keys inside of the showroom, well, which 2 keys are and why? Why are they over there, right? And then I would know it's service tag 4032 and service tag 3006. At that point, we may pull up the RO and say, would this be sitting over to salesperson desk? Maybe it needs so much work that they're saying, hey, maybe you just want to get out of this car, and they're potentially looking at that, right? A trade-in of, hey, the work is not going to be worth the vehicle that you're currently working on. Why don't we look at that? That would make sense for this key to be in the showroom, right? And maybe with the salesperson. But if not, hey, I want a list of those 2 tags, and I can even turn off the map, right? I could pull this off, and now I can look at notes and see if there's a note related to it, right? I may see the note that, hey, we're talking to them about potentially just trading it in because it needs a lot of work, or maybe it's just parked in the wrong place. And at this point, you know, I can export this list, hit the export button over here. It'll create a Excel sheet file for me, and I can shoot this over to maybe my sales manager. Go, hey man, I saw that you have these couple vehicles over there. Do you mind if I grab the keys, or are y'all trying to potentially work a sell, or what's going on with that? Right, so I can keep up with what's going on. So understand that anytime you run a search, whether it be for one vehicle or multiple vehicles, you can always export this list, and everything is sortable. I can sort by location, I can sort by key, anything that you see on here, you can sort by. So very helpful, especially on the retail side, but even so on the service side, right? So I'm gonna turn the map back on. So we've quickly seen a lot of different ways you can use this as far as your opening duties, closing duties, being able to locate and make sure everything's where it should be. But I'm going to come across here one more time, last sightings. Last sightings is kind of cool because if a tag leaves the campus and is gone for an extended period of time, I want to know, right? So this tag has made it back onto the campus, but it was gone for more than 72 hours. Why is that, right? What would be the reasoning? Well, if I needed to know, I could click in here and see if there's a note tied to it, right? Maybe I jump down to the notes and we see something that's related to that. If not, maybe I have some questions about this specific tag, right? I want to know a little bit more about tag number 2042. I may go to the RO and see that we had to send it off for a recall, and it was gone for a couple days, right? That would make sense. But it just helps you manage and understand your assets as far as when they leave, how long they've been gone for, things of that nature. Now, understand, if you're thinking, hey man, that's pretty cool, I like to know when these tags have left the campus, can I get alerts on that? And the answer is absolutely yes. And to set that up, super simple. I'd go over the dashboard, click on back office. I could come down to a user. So I'll pick myself, for example, and I can scroll down here and go, hey, I want to get missing vehicle alerts, and then just turn this tab on. And now you could pick the threshold of time. We can customize it for you. If a tag's been gone for more than, let's say, 10 hours, you could receive an alert. You'll get an email that says, hey, this list of tags has been gone for this period of time, right? Super helpful to just make sure we're managing our assets and we're not forgetting about cars, right? We didn't send it over and drop it off for recall and then we just kind of forgot about it, right? We didn't, send a car to an auction, right? If this was on the retail side and we just forgot it was there, right? That's the last thing you want to have happen with your assets, right? So understand you can set that up. Now, while you saw I was back there with all the users, understand that you can add and remove users anytime you want. It's completely up to you. We're not going to cap you on that. So understand you have full control over that as well. So in the back end of the tool, know that you can take advantage of that. So other than that, you've got some different things over here. I've got stuff for manual entries. If you were tagging something that wasn't a key or car, maybe you want to track a jump box. Maybe there's certain tools at your store you want to track, right? Maybe there's dealer plates or whatever the item may be. Understand that you can track those items and they'll live in this manual entry section right here. So I could click onto that green bar and it'll show me whatever those items are. Right, so just know that you can take advantage of that tracking outside of the norm of keys and cars. And then photo status, that's not really going to apply to the service side. That would be more for the sell side, helping them understand which cars have photos, which ones don't, and then the location of all of them, right? Show me where that key in that car is that we need to take photos of. Help me do it faster, right? So this works in that recon process and making people more efficient. All right, guys, so that's a quick rundown of the Fixed Ops 360 tool that we offer through TrueSpot. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about how we track on the Fixed Ops side, or maybe the sales side, or if you want to get a little bit different, we can even look at recon tracking as well. We offer these 3 different products out there in the world. I'd be more than happy to set up a demo for your store just to discuss, what's your layout? What does it look like? Do you have spillover lots? Do you have satellite lots? Do you want to track at multiple businesses, right? Maybe you have a chain that you want to go through, or an off-site recon center. I'd be more than happy to talk about that and then go over pricing with you as well. Feel free to reach out to me. My name is Justin Fuller. I'm the Director of Digital Sales. At the end of this video, I'll throw up all of my contact info, and it'll also be in the description as well. I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and help you understand if this is something that would be a good fit for your store.